Congratulations. You did it. You stopped buying the $7 lattes. You skipped the trips to Bali. And you finally did it. You saved your first $10,000. You feel like a champion. You're looking at that 5-figure balance thinking, I finally made it. Maybe I should buy that new MacBook, or finally invest in some high-risk crypto to turn this into $1 million. Stop right there. I'm here to give you a brutal reality check that your bank won't tell you. Your first $10,000 is completely useless. It won't make you rich. It won't change your lifestyle. And if you don't handle it correctly, it'll evaporate faster than you earned it. Today, we're breaking down the math of why the first 10K is a psychological trap, why it's the hardest mountain you'll ever climb, and the only way to handle it so you don't stay broke forever. Let's look at the data. According to a recent Bankrate report, 56% of Americans can't even cover a $1,000 emergency expense with their savings. So, statistically, yes, having $10,000 puts you ahead of half the country. But don't get comfortable. In today's economy, $10,000 is what I call vulnerable money. With inflation hovering around 3 to 4%, your $10K is losing $300 to $400 in purchasing power every single year just by sitting there. If you're keeping it in a traditional big bank savings account with a 0.01% interest rate, you aren't saving, you're losing. And here is the investment trap. Everyone wants to talk about compound interest. But let's be real. Compound interest on $10,000 is boring. If you get a solid 10% return in the stock market, which is a great year, you made $1,000. That's $83 a month. That doesn't pay your rent. It barely covers your internet and a couple of pizzas. At this level, the math isn't working for you yet. You are still working for the money. So if it's so useless, why does every self-made millionaire say the first 10K or 100K is the hardest? It's because you have zero leverage. When you have $1 million, the money does the heavy lifting. But when you're starting at zero, it's 100% manual labor. You are fighting against your own habits, your environment, and a society designed to make you spend. To get to this 10K, you had to master the hardest skill in finance, discipline. You had to say no to your friends. You had to drive the older car. You had to overcome lifestyle creep, that urge to spend more just because you're earning more. Think of it like a rocket launch. A rocket burns 80% of its fuel just to get the first few miles off the ground to escape Earth's gravity. That's what the first $10,000 is. It's you escaping the gravity of poverty. It feels exhausting because it is exhausting. This is where most people quit, because they see a massive amount of effort resulting in a tiny amount of gain. So, you have the 10K. Now what? Here is the blueprint to stop it from being useless. Step 1. Change the label. Stop calling it an investment fund. Start calling it freedom insurance. This money isn't there to make you 8% in the S&P 500. It's there so that when your car breaks down, or when your boss becomes a toxic nightmare, you have the power to walk away. It's quiet quit money. It gives you a psychological edge that a broke person doesn't have. Step 2. Park it properly. Move it to a high-yield savings account, HYSA. Get that 4% or 5% APY. It won't make you rich, but it fights inflation. Step 3. The real ROI. At $10,000, the best investment isn't the stock market, it's you. If you take $2,000 of that money and buy a certification, a high-level coaching program, or a skill-based course that increases your salary by $20,000 a year, that is a 0% return on investment. No crypto coin can beat that. Step 4. Forget it exists. The biggest mistake is checking your balance every day. When you watch it, you want to spend it. Set it, forget it, and start grinding for the next milestone. At the end of the day, $10,000 is just an admission ticket. It gets you into the stadium, but it doesn't put you in the game yet. The first 10K is a character test. It proves to yourself and to the world that you have the discipline to keep what you earn. If you can't manage $10,000, you will never be able to manage $1 million. So, where are you at right now? Are you grinding for that first 1,000? Or are you sitting on 10K wondering what's next? Drop a comment below. I want to hear your story, and I respond to as many as I can. In the next video, I'm going to show you the velocity phase, how to go from $10,000 to $100,000 3 times faster than it took you to get here. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stop being broke. I'll see you in the next one.